Welcome to the Berg balance scale.
Equipment for this video is a stopwatch, a ruler, a stool, and a chair. This is a relatively easy test to set up. You don't need to do it anywhere in particular, just a safe environment where the individual won't be at risk of getting hurt. The first thing you will test is sitting to standing, and it is based on a 4-point scale. The individual will get a 4 if they're able to stand without using their hands or use any external support, a 3 if they're able to stand independently using hands, a 2 if they're able to stand using hands several times, 1 needs minimal aid to stand or to stabilize, and they get a 0 if they're unable to do this.
1 sitting to standing without using hands.
The next one is standing unsupported. Again, the 4-point scale, this is the same for every exercise. For this one, you get a 4 if you're able to stand safely for 2 minutes, a 3 if you're able to stand with for 2 minutes with supervision, a 2 is if you're able to stand 30 seconds unsupported, 1, you need several tries to stand for 30 seconds unsupported, and a 0 if you are unable to stand for 30 seconds unassisted.
To standing unsupported for 2 minutes.
Number 3 is sitting with your back unsupported, but your feet are supported by the floor or a stool. You will get a 4 if you're able to sit safely and securely for 2 minutes. 3 is if you're able to sit for 2 minutes under supervision. 2 is if you're able to sit for 30 seconds. 1 is if you're able to sit for 10 seconds. And 0 if you're unable to sit without support for 10 seconds.
3 sitting with back and supported but feet on floor.
Number 4 is just standing to sitting as previously shown. A 4 is if you sit safely with minimal use of hands. 3 is controls descent by using hands. 2 uses back of legs against chair to control descent. 1 sits independently but has uncontrolled descent. And 0 needs assistance to sit.
For standing to sitting.
The 5th exercise is transfers, and that is where an individual is sitting in a chair or stool with no armrest, and they will move to a chair with armrest and then also go back to a chair with no armrest. And a 4 is if they're able to transfer safely with minor use of hands. A 3 is if they transfer safely with definite need of hands. A 2 is if they're able to transfer with verbal cueing and or supervision. 1 needs 1 person to assist, and 0 needs 2 people to assist or supervise.
5 transfers. Move to chair with armrests, then back to chair with no armrests.
Number 6 is standing unsupported with eyes closed. You get a 4 if you're able to stand 10 seconds safely. A 3 is if you stand 10 seconds with supervision. A 2 is if you're able to stand 3 seconds. 1 is unable to keep eyes closed 3 seconds but stays steady. And a 0 needs help to keep from falling.
6 standing with eyes closed for 10 seconds.
Number 7 is standing unsupported with your feet together. So they will be in a sitting position, put their feet together, and then stand. And a 4 is able to place feet together and stand for 1 minute. A 3 is able to put feet together and stand for 1 minute with supervision. A 2 is able to place feet together independently but unable to hold for 30 seconds. A 1 needs help to attain position but able to stand for 15 seconds with feet together. And a 0 needs help to attain position and unable to hold for 15 seconds.
7 standing up with feet together.
Number 8 is the forward reach with your outstretched arm at 90 degrees as seen just previously. But this time, this is when the ruler comes in, and you will need a 3rd person to put the ruler at the end of the fingertips, and then the person will stretch and see how far they can stretch. A 4 is if they can reach forward more than 10 centimeters. A 3 is if they can reach forward 5 inches, or the first one was 10 inches, sorry. And a 2 is if they can reach 2 inches. A 1 is reaches forward but needs supervision, and a 0 loses balance while trying to reach forward.
8. Reaching forward with outstretched arm.
Number 9 is picking an object off the ground from a standing position. You'll get a 4 if you're able to pick up the object safely and easily. You'll get a 3 if you're able to pick up the object but you need supervision. You'll get a 2 if you're unable to pick it up but reach 1 to 2 inches from the object and keeps balance. A 1 if you're unable to pick up and need supervision while trying, and a 0 if you're unable to try / needs assistance to keep from losing balance.
9. Pick up object from floor from standing.
The 10th one is turning to look over your left shoulder and then turning to look over your right shoulder. You can do this with an object like I did, or you can just ask the individual to just turn both ways. You will score a 4 if you look behind both sides and weight shifts well. You'll score a 3 if you look behind one side and only other side shows less weight shift. A 2 if you turn sideways but maintains balance. A 1 needs supervision when turning, and a 0 needs assistance to keep from losing balance.
10. Turn to look at an object over left and right shoulders.
The 11th one is turning 360 degrees to one side and then doing it to the next side or the other side. You're going to get a 4 if you're able to turn 360 degrees safely in 4 seconds or less. A 3 if you're able to turn 360 degrees safely one side only in 4 seconds or less. A 2 if you're able to turn 360 degrees safely but slowly. And a 1 needs close supervision or verbal cueing, and 0 needs assistance.
11. Turn 360 in both directions.
The 12th exercise is standing and alternating, putting each foot on a stool, one at a time. And you'll get a 4 if you're able to stand independently and safely and complete 8 steps in 20 seconds. A 3 if you're able to stand independently and complete 8 steps in more than 20 seconds. A 2 if you're able to complete 4 steps without aid or supervision. A 1 if you're able to complete more than 2 steps, needs minimal assistance. And a 0 needs assistance to keep from falling / unable to try.
12. Placing alternate foot on stool while standing.
The 13th one is standing unsupported, one foot in front of the other. So they will literally just put one foot, try to do it directly in front of the other, and if they're unable to do that, then you try to get them to do it as close as they can. And they'll score 4 if you're able to place your foot tandem independently and hold it for 30 seconds. A 3 if you're able to place foot ahead of the other independently and hold it for 30 seconds. 2 if you're able to take small steps independently and hold 30 seconds. 1 needs help to step but can hold for 15 seconds. And 0 loses balance while stepping.
13. Standing unsupported, one foot in front of the other.
And the last part to the test is standing on one leg. For this one, you will just tell them to stand on one leg. They can choose whatever leg they want, and you time it to see how long they're able to do this. You'll get a 4 if you're able to lift leg independently and hold for more than 10 seconds. A 3 if you're able to lift leg independently and hold for 5 to 10 seconds. A 2 if you're able to lift leg independently and hold equal to or more than 3 seconds. A 1 if you try to lift your leg but you're unable to hold 3 seconds but you remain standing. And a 0 if you're unable to try or needs assistance to prevent fall.
14. Standing on one leg and supported.
So at the end of the test, you will add up all the scores from the 14 exercises, and the highest they can get is a 56. Lowest obviously is a 0, and the higher the score is the better balance. Lower the score is worse balance, obviously, and a 45 or lower indicates that they have a balance impairment. With these scores, a physical therapist or someone you might be seeing to help you with your balance will be better able to assist you and tell you what you need to work on based off the Berg balance scale. Thank you. Gig 'em.